and not really being in total control of myself all the time, which I like to be. Um, that all disappeared with the combination, and then today's little tweak has not only meant that the sort of balance has been reached with regards to um, my ability to not feel as anxious or as panicky, but it's also given me a little lift, in mood, sort of thing. And it's just with the slightest wee tweak. So if you feel um, in any way sort of unsure, make the appointment, go along and see your doctor, and then whatever needs to be done after that, whether it's medication or a referral to go and see a therapist or whatever, then it's all taken from there. But don't be afraid. I mean, I'm a big, I'm a big Belfast man. Fighting to the core sort of thing. And here's me. I'm not one bit afraid of talking about it, because what's the point in not? You know, what's the point in that talk? Are you gonna actually think better of me if you discover that I've never had any issues with mental health or whatever? It just doesn't work that way. I don't think anyway. Which is why this all happens, because it's my way of talking to myself, and then through myself, hopefully getting through to some other people to help them. So here's to you who need the help. Go and get it. So anyway, that's the little sort of health rant over. So I was talking about I was JJ's mum had said to me that he had been misbehaving over the weekend. She told me this yesterday, and he wasn't with me over the weekend. So apparently he'd been a little mischievous with his little brother. Now his little brother's 2, he's 9. So he's big. And if IJ Iwan Thito Jr. Was sort of annoying JJ John Jr. He would put his JJ would put his hand over the wee guy's mouth, or he would give him a tap or something, and what, giving him, you're hitting your brother. He hits us all the time, and I'm going, no, but he doesn't know any different. He's 2, and as for talking and putting your mouth, or your hand over the wee guy's mouth, there are times whenever, I'm going to bring JJ to Portavogie tomorrow. It's a 45-minute car journey, and I will not get one word in at any stage from we leave here until we reach Portavogie. And 99% of it is going to be about his desire to own a bearded dragon. But he made the mistake today of actually showing me, or not showing me, telling me that he says, go on and see some videos about bearded dragons on YouTube. And the first one I found was this video of this wee guy who had a bearded dragon called Tic Tac, and it hadn't shit for 3 days, and he put it in a basin with some cold, like a wee drop of cold water running, and the thing just came with the water triggered its desire to just have a shit, basically. And God, what came out of that wee thing this size, sort of thing. So I said, I'm not getting you one of those. And he was like, oh, but Dad, I'll clean it. No, I'm going, no, that's not happening, because that thing will be in my house for 7 days a week. You're in my house too. So for 5 days I'm going to be cleaning up that. So he really blew it. He really did blow it. Plus, I'm also trying to convince him that Santa doesn't actually bring live animals, on his sleigh, apart from the reindeers, of course. But so yes, and then there was something that I read the other day about male reindeers during the winter actually losing their horns, and female reindeers keep them. So the reindeers that pull Santa's sleigh are all girls. A girl called Rudolph, Donner and Blitzen and Dancer and Prancer, but they're all girls anyway. So there you go. So no, I told you that these would be sporadic. So, but I'm going back to the point. Talking about JJ and his brother, and I said to him, "Look, listen, son, don't be abusing your brother. Even to the extent of doing that, because if you put your hand over your wee brother's mouth, maybe he can't breathe, he'll maybe start panicking, and I know all about panicking. So, and I wouldn't like him to be blaming you, for later in life for having issues with sort of not being able to breathe or whatever. And as for the hitting, don't do that either. And he said, did you not hit your brother? And I went, well, listen to tell you, son, me and my brother fought all the time, but it was over trivial things that it wasn't because Robert talked too much or that he was going around hit. It was like something happened and he and I fought, but there was a big difference between the age difference between me and Robert and you and your wee brother. Your wee brother's still basically a wee baby, and Robert was only a year and 9 months younger than me. And I said, you want your wee brother to look up to you as a big brother and respect you and to rely on you, not to be this person who he won't be able to go to if he gets in trouble with some guys out in the street, because you're as bad as them, as the people who are hitting them or something. And he said, give me an example of how that, and I went, oh, okay. So back in the cricket days, and I hope that a lot of my fellow cricket estaters watch these and can kind of relate to them. But there was this one incident. Now, if I have to do a little bit of a pre-story to this, so I wasn't looked on in the estate in any way as a hard man, but there were hard men in the estate. Now, I'm not talking about the Craig O'Wine team. I'm not talking about Judy Stewart's dad. I'm not talking about Bug and Bean and Scumsy and them. I'm talking about people like Thomas Wilson. Like Tucker Wilson was built like a tank. He was the same age as me, same as Colin Flower. No one, he was a very, very strong character and renowned for being, able to look after himself, sort of thing. So there were guys like that, but I wasn't. I mean, I never got really. I mean, I was always in trouble, but it never really sort of got into got to a stage where there were like I had a reputation as being, a fighter. But I think I was I was like 17 or whatever. And Robert was 15. He just turned 15. So there was this guy who was terrorizing the place, a wee bit younger than me. And you'll remember him. His name was Keith Dope, Kid Dope. And my brother Robert came over to the house in Trassy Close from the park, and there was blood coming down his nose and out his ear and stuff. And I says, "What the hell happened to you?" And he said, "Kid Dope, boom, 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 boom." And I said, "What did you do to deserve that?" He said, "Nothing." He says, "I had sweets, and I didn't give him one. So he hit me and he took the whole bag, So I went, right, okay, let's go. So I had to put my boots and stuff on, and I went over. Now the thing about it is that Kid Dope was the same age as Robert, maybe a year older. So there wasn't that really much difference between them. And then I was about 2 years older than him, so I couldn't biff him, because that would have been, But what I did was, while I stood there with my arms folded, I said to Robert, "Go, get your sweets back." And our Robert, knowing that I was there, ran over to Kid Dope and banged him and took I think it was a bag of, if I remember